Breaking news now on Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
We are following three major breaking news stories tonight. 4 people killed in a shooting at a Georgia high school. Meanwhile, back here at home, the search continues for 2 missing boaters in Old Saybrook, and the Quinnipiac University Student Center was evacuated after reports of a pipe bomb. Good evening, and thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 6. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Bridget Bjorlo. The Student Center at Quinnipiac University just reopening in the past 2 hours after a bomb squad deemed it safe. Fox
61's Alexa Farrell is in Hamden with the very latest on this. Alexa.
Brent and Bridget, just before 2 o'clock today, a student here at the university notified officials that someone posted on Yik Yak, which is a social media platform where you can post things anonymously, that there was a pipe bomb in the bathroom at the Carl Hansen Student Center. So take a look here at the video from earlier today. You can see that students are standing outside right now. During this video, it was taped off. The student center was taped off there, and the student center is connected to Tater Hall. Then you can see the students on campus after they were evacuated from their classes in the student center. John Morgan from Quinnipiac University says they swiftly worked to evacuate those buildings and get police and the bomb squad in to investigate. Morgan says that they spent a few hours checking out the building before giving the all clear.
Our entire community is always paramount to us, so we make sure that we're doing everything possible to keep everyone as safe and secure as we can. I want to really praise the student who actually came forward and saw something and said something. That's so important, and we encourage our students whenever that occurs to make sure that they are letting public safety know that there's a possibility of danger.
And take a look here. This is the email that was sent out to students as this was all happening. This was before given the all clear, but just out of an abundance of caution. Classes are canceled in Tater for the rest of the day today, 9/4/2024. Classes should move online. Where not possible, faculty will be in touch with students about the course. Now, again, all students were given the all clear, so they're able to go back into the student center, which is connected to Tater Hall. Tater Hall not holding classes this evening in that hall, in that building. But the university is praising the way that students complied with officials and made sure that everyone stayed safe throughout this entire process. From Quinnipiac University, Alexa Farrell, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Alexa, thank you. And as we said, we're following developing news out of Georgia, where the state plans on charging a 14-year-old with murder after a school shooting. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation says 2 students and 2 teachers were shot and killed at Appalachia High School in Winder, Georgia. And that's about an hour northeast of Atlanta. At least 9 others are hurt. Investigators say the suspect is a student at the school and is being charged as an adult with murder. We will continue to follow this developing story both on air and online.
Our other big story tonight, crews are still searching in Old Saybrook for 2 missing men following a deadly boat crash on Labor Day.
The police have identified one of the victims as 34-year-old Chris Hallahan of Westbrook, pronounced dead on the scene. 6 others were sent to the hospital, including the operator of the boat, who police say is still in critical condition.
Fox 61's Julie LeBlanc has been following this story all week long now. Joining us now from Saybrook Point Resort and Marina. Julia, what can you tell us?
Hi, good evening to you both. Yeah, it's now been 2 full days of search and rescue crews out here on the water looking for those 2 missing men. We still see a couple of stragglers here tonight, and they are still focusing much of their attention on the breakwaters in the distance there, which is where police say the crash happened Monday night. Now, a spokesperson for DEEP tells us that they have had state police, dive teams, and airplanes scouring the area near the mouth of the Connecticut River all day today. They also have boats out from multiple different local and state agencies. Now, we have seen family and friends of those involved hanging around the marinas, waiting patiently and anxiously for updates. You can just feel how heavy this all sits on the hearts of this very tight-knit community, including for Westbrook's first selectman, which is where 34-year-old Chris Hallahan was from. John Hall, the first selectman, tells us Hallahan ran a construction business in the area, which his dad started, and was recently elected onto a town committee working on building a new community center for Westbrook. Now, the loss of someone like him, Hall says, is absolutely devastating.
it's a small, tight-knit community, and everybody knows everybody. And, Chris was a young man that had everything together and growing his business, family's business. It's a tragic loss for the town.
No, Hall tells us Hallahan got married a couple of years ago and his wife was on the boat that day. He says the town is extending its deepest condolences to his family and friends as the town set its flags to half-staff today. Now back out here live, if you can take a look, you can still see once again those search and rescue teams out on the water tonight. There's another one, and they tell us that they will be here until at least sunset. And then if those efforts are unsuccessful, then they will pick things back up tomorrow morning, which is what they did this morning. We are live here in Old Saybrook tonight. Julia LeBlanc, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Such a tragedy, Julia. Thank you. A kennel owner in Bethlehem is facing animal cruelty charges, accused of neglecting a dog. Police say Jennifer Ornelli was arrested after an investigation into a report of a dog being neglected while boarding with the Home Away from Home kennel. Ornelli was released on $10,000 bond. She's due in court later on this month.
A New Haven teen is in the hospital tonight recovering from a gunshot wound. Police say a 17-year-old was shot around just before 6 p.m. yesterday near Edgewood Avenue and Hotchkiss Street. The teen was brought to the hospital to undergo surgery. He is expected to be okay. Police are asking anyone who saw that shooting to give them a call.
Switching gears to weather now, you really felt that drop in humidity today.
Felt good. Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank joining us now. Rach, what about the rest of the week?
Yeah, we're on cruise control right through Friday. I think Friday we'll see a few additional clouds in the sky, but overall our nice dry stretch of weather continues. And while we do have some rain in the forecast for this weekend, it's not all bad. And we'll explain more on the timing and how that works for us in just a little bit. Hartford at 76 degrees, mid-70s also in the New Haven area. And yep, that humidity is very low. Bottom of the barrel. This is the kind of weather when you're thinking about beautiful early fall that you picture. Now, if we can just get some of those trees to pop, right, that'll go along with this weather. Not that I'm rushing it. 73 in Norwich, 69 the current temperature for Groton, and you can look out the window and see for yourself. Yeah, there's nothing on the satellite. Temperatures tonight falling back into the 50s and some upper 40s as we head towards daybreak tomorrow, including 48 in Torrington, near 50 in Waterbury, and 58 for an overnight low temperature for the New Haven area. So another cool start to the day. Need the sunglasses though from start to finish with blue skies. We'll talk about the timing of that weekend rain coming up.
Well, the state of Connecticut will have a combined surplus of nearly $240 million in fiscal year 2025, according to the state comptroller. But what does that actually mean for you?
Fox 61's political reporter Emma Wolfhorst spoke with the comptroller today and state lawmakers. She joins us now in studio with an update on the state's financial health. Emma.
Bridget, Brent, the comptroller's office says once again Connecticut is financially sound, which of course is good news. But this surplus update comes as people are fed up about extremely high electric bills and as state Republicans continue to call for a special session.
Connecticut continues to be in good fiscal shape, that we have come a long way in the last 5 to 10 years.
State Comptroller Sean Scanlon is projecting a fiscal year 2025 surplus of about $240 million for Connecticut. That's coming from a general fund surplus of $113.2 million and a special transportation fund surplus of $126.4 million.
The point of building up that rainy day fund is that we don't have to make the mistakes of the past. And the point of paying down our pension debt is that we finally get out of a situation where for 70 plus years, Connecticut did not do the right thing.
Scanlon says at the end of fiscal year 2024, Connecticut will use about $940 million to pay down state employees and teachers' retirement pension debts, marking more than $8.5 billion in payments to these pension obligations in the last 5 years.
We're not simply just sitting on this money. We have found, I believe, a good balance between paying down our long-term debt, saving for really dark times, and also making sure that we say to people we understand that things have been a little bit more expensive in the last couple of years.
But state Republicans say people are hurting now.
They've essentially been overtaxed, and yet they struggle to pay their exponentially rising and ridiculously increasing electric bill.
Republicans have been sounding the alarm for weeks about high electric bills, calling for lawmakers to return to the state capitol for a special session.
We have to explore options and opportunities of funds within the confines of our fiscal guardrails to provide a significant relief, particularly to the ratepayers of our state. The Democratic Party in Hartford continues to prevent us from even having any sort of discussion about that.
Scanlon says he understands residents' concerns, but believes the solution is long-term investments in Connecticut's energy future.
It's incumbent on us to turn down the heat, turn down the rhetoric, and actually have a conversation about what we can do together to fix Connecticut's electrical grid problems.
Now, Governor Ned Lamont met with Senator Harding and members of the legislature's Energy Committee today to talk about strategy moving forward. Lamont has been open to a special session, but says he wants the legislature to focus more on those long-term solutions to get more energy supply into Connecticut. Bridget, Brent.
All right, Emma, thank you. Well, the State Election Enforcement Commission is continuing to tackle complaints from Bridgeport voters. Today, they voted to subpoena the Democratic Party's longtime boss. In our continued coverage, we've told you Mario Testa was called out in a stack of complaints Fox 61 obtained. The claim is that he doesn't even live in Bridgeport. Now, Testa has said in the past he has two residences, Monroe and Bridgeport, but complaints claim he lives in Monroe full-time and just keeps a car registered to the city. The commission is now making him show proof he lives in Bridgeport.
Happening right now, the Red Cross is hosting a resource center in Southbury for those impacted by recent flooding. Now, it's taking place at the Southbury Senior Center until 7 tonight. Red Cross caseworkers are on there to assist home and business owners on site. Walk-ins are welcome. No appointment is needed. A second resource center, we're told, will be opening tomorrow at the Naugatuck YMCA. That's happening from 2 to 7 p.m. Since the flooding that took place August 18th, the Red Cross has provided 3,700 meals to families and emergency relief items to more than 600 residents.